Cecilia Smith and Lafayette Harris Jr., in collaboration with Modern Marimba of Sarasota, Florida, VCU Health, Arts, and Healthcare, Virginia Commonwealth University, Gifts of Art, Michigan Medicine, University of Michigan, Agar, Amherst Glebe Arts Response, presents Cecilia Smith and Lafayette Harris Jr. Duo, Holiday Keys and Vibes 2021. Cecilia Smith vibraphone and Lafayette Harris Jr. piano. Production manager Michelle Adwaou. Art staff Modern Marimba of Sarasota, Florida. Tita Van Kuth, co-founder. VCU Health Arts and Health Director Philip Musi Branch. Gifts of Art Michigan Medicine Director Elaine Sims. Performance Director Carrie McClintock. Amherst Glebe Arts Response Agar Inc. Director Lynn Cable. Cecilia Smith and Lafayette Harris Jr. Producers. All rights reserved. 2022. Hey, Lafayette.
Cecilia, it's so good to see you again. You look marvelous.
Well, thank you. I like to dress up.
Oh, yes.
I like to clean up. I don't like to do it all the time, but I'm here.
Okay, well, there you go.
We're here to present to you some holiday music.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to everyone. And we would first like to, because we are broadcasting, so to say, streaming.
There we go. Streaming, broadcasting, all of that.
From the city of New York, from the borough of Brooklyn. We would like to acknowledge the Native Americans who lived here initially, before it became Brooklyn. The Lenape people, the Canarsie, and the Nyack people.
All right.
And if you all have been following us, you know that we love to play, but we also like to talk about what we're going to be presenting, and we've done a lot of research on today's program.
Yeah, we have. Got a lot of information for you. I hope you find it interesting.
Oh, I think people will. Interesting and humorous. We're going to start our program today with a classic Christmas song called Silent Night.
That's right, and you have taken it upon yourself, Cecilia, to give it a very wonderful arrangement.
Well, thank you for acknowledging that first. Thank you very much. Yes, I have rearranged it.
All right.
But we did a little history of, research on this piece to talk about why this piece was written in the first place. It has quite the history.
It does have quite a history, and it was actually composed on Christmas Eve in 1818.
Where at?
In Germany.
In Germany, that's right. The composers were German.
And yes, a man named Franz Gruber did the music, and there was a Catholic priest named Joseph Mohr, Mohr, maybe I'm pronouncing it. But the reason that it was composed was at the last minute, they couldn't use the organ. There was a flood in the area, and it had destroyed the organ. The organ wouldn't work. So they needed a fast, someone to come up with something quickly and simple enough that the guitar player could play it just for that performance that night.
And truthfully, this classic piece is learned by children, one of their first pieces that they learn, because of the simplicity and the beauty of the melody. A lot of people like to hear it and like to play it.
That's right. This is something that kids can play. I'll give you a little taste, just a little bit.
Just a little taste? Okay. Melody, but as Jasmine's musicians like to do, I have put another spin on this song. I wanted to give it an air of mystery, and I also wanted to reharmonize the piece. Now we have several presenters who are part of our presentation today, and there are Agar, Amherst Glebe Arts Response. Amherst Glebe, I'm going to have to do that again.
Okay.
Amherst Glebe Arts Response, University of Michigan, Gifts of the Arts, VCU, Health and Healing, and Modern Marimba, which is an organization in Florida, and their emphasis are mallet players. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about the theoretic approach. And so we're starting with this piece, Silent Night, not only because of the simplicity of it, but because of the harmonic devices that I use, just to sweeten it up a little.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'll try to be ready.
Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3. 3.
lovely arrangement, Cecilia.
A spin on it. There's a spin on it, definitely.
That's right.
All right. All right, well, let's move right along with our program.
That's right. We're going to, basically this holiday takes place after Christmas, right?
Yes, it does. And
you want me to put that on?
Well, I don't know if you should put it on. I'm getting a sign that says the hat.
Is that right?
Yes, it's laying there. So
a sign is coming from.
Sign is coming from up above.
I look like one of the kings, one of the three kings.
Hey, that's right. It is a bit of a crown.
It is a bit of a crown.
That's right. This piece is called We Three Kings. And Three Kings Day happens in January.
January 6th, as a matter of fact.
Yes, and all of our pieces have to either deal with different aspects of different cultures that celebrate things that happen in December and January.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So Three Kings Day is often celebrated by Latin countries.
Okay, Italians, Spanish.
Right. Mexican.
Okay.
All kinds. And it is often deals with children who live in certain parts where they celebrate in children's pageants.
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, this piece was written actually for a children's pageant.
Okay.
Niece and nephew of a man by the name of John Henry Hopkins Jr.
Okay.
That's a mouthful. And that was back in 1863.
That's right.
And I know this piece, we were talking about it, that there was a jazz group that was doing a jazz nativity concert yearly.
Yes. Started off with Lionel Hampton. Who are some of the others?
Tito Puente. Mr. Al Gray.
Al Gray. I remember them, and they all had crowns on.
That's right.
And festive clothing, and we would see these pictures in jazz advertisements of them dressed up as the Three Kings.
Yeah, they did a wonderful record together. Al, the trumpet player, great trumpet.
Hurt?
Black man, very tall.
John Faddis?
Mr. John Faddis.
Okay, yes, he was very tall. He is very tall.
He is very tall. Yeah, and Bending Towards the Light was the name of their program.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. So we found out a few things about Three Kings, and it does happen on January 6th, and we'd like to play it for you.
We're going to put it in a Latin groove, right?
Latin groove.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we can hold on to it.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You go ahead and count it off, because this is sort of a Lafayette's arrangement, right?
2,
We Three Kings. Love the hat, man.
Love the hat? All right.
Yes, it's happening. It's happening.
Okay, cool. Glad you think so.
All right. We are moving right along here.
We jump back to Hanukkah season.
That's right. Actually, Hanukkah was over last week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we learned a lot about this piece that we're going to play for you. It's actually called C'est Vivant.
C'est Vivant.
Mm-hmm.
What a great little name.
Yes, and it has to do with the dreidel.
It is a dreidel song.
It is a dreidel song.
And for those of you who do not know what a dreidel is,
well,
I did not know because I am not Jewish.
Well, I knew because I grew up in a Jewish neighborhood, but I never actually played the game.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know what those sides meant.
Uh-huh.
But we did some research. We talked to a few people, and we found out some things.
I talked to a buddy of mine who told me, "Hey man, it's nothing but a gambling song, but a gambling game."
It's a gambling game.
Yeah,
It is a gambling game, but there is some significance to it because all of the dreidels have sides.
They do have sides, and look, I've got a dreidel right here.
Yes.
And there's a side that says "Hey." Gimel, none. I know that none means you get nothing.
Okay.
And shin.
That's right.
And you spin this with like 3 or 4 other players. I've never played it, so I'm just paraphrasing what I know,
okay.
what I have come to know. And so if you get none, you basically lose a turn. You get nothing. But there's a side that says it. You get everything that's on the board.
Right.
Or basically, we put in a pot. You put in a pot of pennies or marbles, and like I said, you get none, or you get all
of it,
or you get half of it.
Right.
And the fourth side, you got me on that.
Well, I think you get your turn passes by.
Your turn passes by.
Right.
That's
I think
all.
So. But the other thing is that some of the dreidels have, in Hebrew, a miracle happened here.
That's right. A miracle did happen here, and that's what this what actually means, right? And what is the miracle?
The miracle was when the Greeks and the Jews were in war with each other. They had cleared the temple out and found a vial of oil.
Right. Well, the temple had been taken over by the Greeks, and then later on, the Jewish people came back and they took the temple back over.
Okay.
Yes, and then
order.
and then
order happening.
Yes, and like you said, they found some oil
in a vial.
Okay.
And it was only supposed to last. It was only a little bit in there. Instead of the day or two that they thought it was going to last, it lasted for 8 days.
Yes, and so that is the miracle.
That is the miracle. And some dreidels have these words on it that deal with the miracles, to keep that in mind while they're playing this game. But that is the essence of Hanukkah, the celebration of this oil that was found. And they celebrated by lighting a candle for 8 nights at sunset.
Now, I have this dreidel here, and the words to the song, Sivan, translated, are dreidel, spin, spin, spin.
Okay.
Hanukkah is a great holiday. And I'm going to attempt to spin it. Let's see if Michelle can help us out and get us a close-up of this spinning. And are you ready, Michelle? Here we go. I can do better than that. Hang on, just hang on. Hang on. Okay, shin. All right, here we go. song.
Yes, it's very fun. We
Yeah.
enjoyed playing it and finding it. We researched a lot of pieces, and we decided that that piece would lend itself well for vibes and piano.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Very good, Lafayette. All right, so we're going to move on to another holiday or period of time that's celebrated during the month of December called Kwanzaa.
Yes, Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa first came into being in 1966. The father of Kwanzaa being Mr. Malana Karenga. And Kwanzaa takes place over 7 days, starting on December 26th,
That's right.
the day after Christmas. And the purpose of his bringing this about, it was an opportunity for Black Americans, Black people in general, to celebrate something of their own selves and their own history. And a lot of this is based on traditions of the African harvest in West Africa as well as Southeast Africa.
Okay. And the name of the piece is called
Umoja,
which means
which is the first day of celebration of the Kwanzaa period of those 7. And Umoja translate as unity. And we found a song. We looked and we finally found a song that we could play ourselves.
that lended itself well to this instrument and piano.
That's right. It's sung, but we're not going to sing it, but I will tell you the words. Umoja means unity, you and me, living together in one big family. Umoja is unity, you and me, living forever in love and harmony.
That's it.
Unity.
Mm-hmm.
So here it is. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. That's right.
Working together.
That's what we need to do more.
That's
Everybody.
For our next piece,
All right.
we're riding on a sleigh.
All right.
We're holding on for dear life.
Hold on for dear life. That's right.
Yes, this is a piece called Sleigh Ride, and there's no mention of Christmas or Santa Claus in it at all. It's just a winter song.
A winter song. You know, there's so many cultures in the world that celebrate like winter solstice.
That's right.
You know, and many indigenous cultures of the world here in America, all over the world.
Yes, yes. And why is that? They celebrate what?
They celebrate life.
Well, they celebrate the shortness of the day, too, and the longness of night.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, because on December 21st, that is the shortest day, shortest amount of daylight.
Shortest amount of daylight, and longest night.
And longest night.
Mm-hmm.
So for this piece, though, we're talking about all kinds of things happening. Chestnuts and riding on big wagons that are led by blades, by a horse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, several horses, some of them.
Some of them, several horses. Mm-hmm. And this is probably one of the most noted winter songs written by a composer by the name of Leroy Anderson. We found out a lot about Leroy.
Oh yeah, he was a very interesting composer and had a very original style. And he was noted for being a composer of light classical pieces. And he wrote quite a few pieces recorded by the Boston Pops.
That's right.
And I know you know a little bit about Boston.
I know a lot about Boston. I've seen the Boston Pops. I saw Boston Pops with Arthur Fiedler before he retired.
All right, all right.
Yes, I did. And this is one of their most noticed pieces. And we based our arrangement on it.
Oh, yes. And like we said, this is called Sleigh Ride. Leroy Anderson is the composer. And he wrote this in July of 1946. And his first two pieces that were recorded by the Boston Pops were Jazz Pizzicato and Jazz Legato. Mm-hmm. And he wrote a couple of other very interesting pieces. One, The Typewriter, where someone actually plays a typewriter, not an electric typewriter, but the
old manual.
And the keys plop, 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 like this.
Bells on it.
Yes, right. The ribbon goes back and forth and all that kind of stuff. And then another piece called Syncopated Clock. Right.
Mm-hmm. And all these interesting songs have sound effects in them.
That's right.
Yeah, even Sleigh Ride has horses that, are clopping through and sleighs and even bells. The sound of a horse.
Get out of here.
Oh my goodness. I mean, all of that stuff is happening within the piece.
Man.
And so...
can you believe it? A horse sound?
A horse sound. And here's the other thing about it. This piece, the way that it lays, it is a wonder that Leroy studied a lot of jazz. Because not, really a jazz song, but the way that the melody lays. Yes. I find it's one of the most fun songs I've ever heard in terms of Christmas music. And, I really love Christmas music. We only get to hear it for a month in between fall and winter. Yeah. And they have wonderful melodies. And this one is just fantastic. Yeah. So, a lot of you will know the melody and know the words.
It's definitely got a jazz influence, and it's in the key of B flat.
For the most part.
Yes. Oh, yes, for the most part. And that's right. And it does get to some other key centers.
Oh my gosh, yes.
For you music people out there,
that's right.
There's a point where it goes from the key of B flat down the tritone.
Yes.
To do the 2 of D major.
Yes.
And then another part, it goes to G major.
That's right.
Yeah, so...
So not only is it a challenge in terms of it's harmonic, I don't want to say it's a challenge. It's really slickly written. It's a slick Christmas song. I would call it slick. It's not slick like, just street slick. But just well composed.
Well put together,
Well put together. And it's tricky. It took a lot to learn.
Yeah, let's see if we can play this song.
Because it's brisk.
Yeah, all right. It's so fast with our mistakes, nobody will hear them anyway. Okay.
We'll see.
Let's see.
All right, here we go. You count it off, Lafayette.
Oh, you're going to put it on me now, huh?
I am. Just don't, just...
1, 2, 3. All righty.
All right, sleigh ride.
Mm-hmm.
Horse and all.
Horse and all.
Very good, Lafayette. That was
my
a
pleasure.
wonderful sound effect.
Okay.
And we hope you're still laughing, because it was meant to be funny. All right. Sleigh ride.
Yeah, so that was written, what, in 1946, so only a few years later.
Oh, that's right.
We're coming to 1953.
1953. And this particular vocalist who sang this song, her name was Eartha Kitt.
Yeah, the wonderful Eartha Kitt.
The wonderful Eartha Kitt, who had quite the career, actually. Mm-hmm. Quite the career as a jazz vocalist, and I would say maybe a cabaret singer.
That's right. She was like a triple threat, right?
Yes.
A great dancer.
Okay.
And a wonderful actress, too.
Wonderful actress, yes. In fact, she was one of the Catwomen in Batman.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, man. And I remember as a kid that we used to all run inside, not only when Julia came on, but when Eartha Kitt came on, Batman, as the Catwoman. We were excited to see that. And she played a really great Catwoman, too.
She did. Was she sultry?
Sultry. I think Batman was a little afraid of her.
I think he was in love with her.
Well, love and just intimidated. At least that's,
good old
as a young child, my interpretation.
West.
Yes, Adam West was just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, she had this great hit. She had 2 hits, actually.
That's right. She had another hit that same year called C'est Si Bon.
C'est Si Bon was it the same year, before or after Santa Baby?
Actually, 1953, same year.
Okay. Well, we just kind of snuck in the name of the song, Santa Baby. And the great thing about this piece is that it lays sort of like a blues, sort of.
Got a little blues flavor.
Got a little blues flavor. But the words are very unique. It's...
You like this song. You like the words.
I do like the words. I like the words because who'd have thought? Sometimes you have to explain them to kids because it's a novelty song. And she talks about the gifts that she wants from Santa.
Isn't that something?
Oh, man. And they're not dolls and trains. So she wants things like she wants a sable. Now, have you ever explained to a child what a sable is?
I have not.
Okay, because you just say it's like a mink coat, okay? It's like it's another kind of mink coat that might be politically incorrect these days. And she wants a 54 convertible light blue.
Light blue.
And she wants checks signed. She don't even want to say what the amount is. She just wants some signed checks.
Just put your signature on it.
And she wants a piece of property, a couple of pieces. She wants a duplex.
Okay.
And she wants a platinum mine.
My goodness.
She don't even want a gold mine. She wants the next level up. And you have to often explain to people or children what platinum is when, this song comes up. So it's a very fun song to play. But we thought, because we are not singers, that we would talk about some of the words in this piece, Santa Baby. And, because we had to cover a lot of material, this is our only Santa Claus song.
So then after that, I can take this hat off.
Well, I think it adds to the nuance, absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So, we've been playing this piece a lot of different ways, and I have a habit of counting things a lot faster than they should be.
We're going to go for the sultry effect.
Well, yes, and Lafayette likes to slow things down, And I said, okay, all right, so you're going to count this song, because I hear it a little brighter. But he keeps thinking about Eartha Kitt, and so,
you got to take your time when you're asking for those checks. Because I just want some checks.
I'm not saying you don't have to ask like that. You don't have to ask like that. Just be like,
okay.
All right. So here we go. You're going to count it, okay, Lafayette?
1, 2, 3.
All right, Santa Baby. All right, I like that pace. That was fun.
I hope you get everything you want underneath your Christmas tree.
Well, thank you, because that is a nice segue into our next song. Right?
That's right. It is.
You didn't even know?
I didn't know. I was not conscious of the situation.
You weren't conscious. Oh, come on now. This is the order of things. This song is called Old Tannenbaum.
That's right. It means something about a fir tree,
well,
right?
It's about a fir tree in German, right?
Mm-hmm.
And was originally a folk song for dance.
That's right. That's right.
German composer who wrote church music. I guess he set words to them.
Yes. The lyrics by the composer's name was Ernest Anschutz.
Okay.
Anschutz. I'm terrible with pronouncing German names.
Okay.
1824 is when he did that.
Okay.
Now, this was a traditional song whose melody had been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Melchior Franck has been credited with the melody.
Okay. No, he gets credit for it.
That happened in the 1700s.
Okay.
Sometime.
All right.
Sometime.
Made claims so you can get those residuals.
That's right.
And the interesting thing about this piece that it is a song that celebrates winter.
Yes. Solstice period.
Solstice period, because back during those times, before Christmas, they celebrate winter solstice by bringing often those types of plants that were hardy through the winter, like a fir tree, an evergreen tree, these types of things that turned into a Christmas tradition because they felt of other things like holly, mistletoes. Those were very hardy plants that lived through the winter, and they thought that if they brought it into their homes, it would bring good luck to them.
Wow, okay.
Yes, and then eventually, as the tradition of Christmas came along, they started dressing these trees up.
All right, and all those bells and all that. They put the angel on top.
The angel on top and all kinds of beautiful ornaments. It was a big deal in our house.
Oh man,
yeah,
kids love it.
Yeah,
I still love it too.
Yeah. No, I love the idea of Christmas tree and dressing up. We had nice old ornaments. We had one that placed above the lights, and the heat used to make it spin around. They were very old and came down. We used to have 5, and then we would have 4, and it was like, oh, only 3 are working. But this piece, Old Tannenbaum, we thought we'd present to you in a jazz tradition.
Yeah, that's right. As a matter of fact, we're kind of like getting a little bit of that Charlie Brown influence.
That's right. We're moving in that direction at this point of our program.
Yeah.
And we'll leave it right there. But this is part of Vince Guaraldi's arrangement of Old Tannenbaum or Old Christmas Tree, depending on who's singing it.
All right.
All right. right. Oh, Tannenbaum, swinging.
Swinging, just like in Germany.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Wow, I love playing that piece. It's just so fun and exciting.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're going to change it up just a little bit. We're going from Germany to France.
Yes.
We've been all over the world with this.
Mm-hmm. We're going to stay right there in West Europe, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This piece is called Bring a Torch, Jeanette, Isabella.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of choirs sing this song. It's not your typical carol that you hear all the time unless you're involved in Christmas pieces and singing church choirs or semi-professional choirs. And it's got one of those most beautiful melodies that I've ever heard. But it's considered a French carol because during the time, biblical times of the birth of Jesus, as in terms of Christmas celebration and the religious aspect of it, a lot of cultures would interpret things in their cultures to reflect how they felt, like the little drummer boy brought gifts, but that's not necessarily in the Bible. Yeah. And in this case, the French came up with a way to celebrate it as if they were having this happening in their country.
They sure did. They kind of like brought the nativity scene home to France.
That's right. That's right. And so the story is that a family discovered there was a woman giving birth in one of their farms in a barn, and they had children around, and they decided that this must be the birth of Jesus happening right in their little town. So they sent their children, these two girls, Jeanette and Isabella, to bring a torch so they could see, but also to tell the townspeople what's happening in their barn.
Wow.
Yes, but the opening verse in terms of the lyrics, bring a torch, Jeanette, Isabella, bring a torch, Jeanette, Isabella, bring a torch, Jeanette, Isabella, and run. So there's this feeling of running. Children, they're going to get this torch, but they're going to tell everybody what's going on in our farm, in our barn, Wow. So when they bring the torch back, they say, okay, keep your voice down. Hush, hush, beautiful child is sleeping. Hush, hush, beautiful child is born.
Wow.
And
you got some hush hush parts in there.
There's some hush hush parts in there.
Okay.
I did kind of rearrange this.
As you like to do.
As I like to do. And I actually found a wonderful organ version of it by a pretty noted organist by the name of
Keith Chapman.
And it made me. They actually have several organists playing this particular kind of arrangement. I borrowed some of the aspects that they use for the organ arrangement, but I was fascinated because organ players and drummers use all four of their limbs to play. And so you can, see this guy stomping out bass lines on an organ.
Playing it, man.
Wasn't that mind-blowing when you saw that? It's mind-blowing.
I mean, it's hard enough to deal with just the amber pedal, which is nothing compared to playing the organ. Nothing.
But he does such a wonderful arrangement. And so I borrowed a few things from it to make it work for piano and vibes. So we hope you enjoy our interpretation. If you know this piece, if you don't know it, I would encourage you to Google Jeanette Isabella and look for that organ arrangement after you hear this one. All right. Are you ready?
Ready as I love it, baby.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
us.
Yes, they did. Bring a torch. All right.
Man, so that torch reminds me of this next song.
Does it really?
It does, because the torches are hot. And this song was written when it was really hot in Florida.
Okay.
And I believe it was in the month of July. Okay. And it was written, it started out by a guy by the name of Bob Wells, who was dealing with this heat wave. And he often got together to write with the great Mel Tormé.
That's right.
And he had already had some words sketched out on a pad. And Mel saw this pad and saw these words that are supposed to give you a cool feeling.
Okay.
And some of the words were folks dressed up like Eskimos.
Okay.
Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Santa on a sleigh. Stuff like that. Something to give you cool thoughts. When you're dealing with a heat wave, especially in Miami.
Yeah.
So Mel Tormé took it upon himself to complete the words and put the music to it. Mel Tormé was such a great, gifted musician, known to be a singer, but he played good piano, and he was a brilliant drummer.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about the fact that many of our most noted Christmas songs were written by Jewish Americans.
Isn't that something?
Mel Tormé, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I think some like Holly Jolly Christmas, and a lot of these musicians were Tin Pan Alley songwriters.
Yeah.
And they were told, if you write Christmas songs, you'll be collecting residuals forever.
Forever. Especially at Christmas time.
Christmas time. So they took it upon themselves to write some of the most noted Christmas songs that there are. So this is one of them.
That's right. As a matter of fact, this is supposed to be the most performed Christmas song.
And if I'm not mistaken, is this the one that Bing Crosby made a lot of money on?
Oh, no. No, that was White Christmas.
Oh, that was White Christmas.
This is a Christmas song. The original title of this was actually Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire.
Have you ever had chestnuts?
I never had chestnuts.
No, I've made them one year.
You have made them one year.
Yeah,
you loved it so much you did it every year.
Well, they're kind of deep to deal with.
Okay.
But they smell really pretty.
Right.
And they're and they're also quite tasty, but it's kind of an acquired taste, and people enjoy them not so much to do it again, but it is an interesting experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll do it once too.
Okay. Well, they got them. They're in the stores.
Okay.
All right.
So you got this one. You're going to set it up.
I'm going to set it up.
Give us some of that lovely Cecilia ballad playing.
Here we go.
Christmas song.
All
right, moving right along, we are up to some more Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
As a matter of fact, this is the signature song for the Peanuts franchise.
Yes, it is. And we found a lot of more interesting things about Vince Guaraldi in our search for information on this piece. We found, information about how he got that gig.
It's very interesting. He had a lot of success as a pianist in the jazz tradition, but he was working on the West Coast with people like Cal Tjader. And he was also recording his own music. And Cal Tjader played the vibes, right?
That's right. He's one of the most noted vibe players, and
he's one of the cats, right?
He's one of the cats.
So there was an album that he did for his record company. Vince did for his record company. They were trying to profit off of the bossa nova craze at the time.
That's right, at that time.
And so they recorded a bunch of at that time. New standard bossa nova tunes, and none of them did anything for him. But
in terms of success,
but on the B side of one of those records was his original composition, "Cast Your Fate to the Wind."
I remember that piece. That's a really cool piece.
And that was so you're talking about this record came out in 1962. That was the year before I was born.
Okay.
And it was a hit. It was a hit record. And great piece of music. If you ever want to check out a nice.
One of my piano repertoire music when I was a teenager. I learned that piece.
Okay, yes. So this fella Lee Mendelsohn, who was one of the big shots with the Peanuts script. To get it in the newspaper at the time. This before they started making movies and stuff.
Okay.
Shows and stuff. He was riding across the Golden Gate Bridge, San Francisco, and he heard "Cast Your Fate to the Wind" on the radio.
Okay.
And immediately he's like, I gotta have that guy who wrote that song write music for our show. I just know it.
Okay.
All right, and he found them, and so after Vince was of course I'll be your composer, and so after a couple of weeks, Vince called him and said, I got this song. You're gonna love it. You gotta hear it. I gotta play it for you right now. And so Lee was like, no, don't play it now. I don't want to get it marred by just playing over the telephone. Please, let me come to your studio. No, I'm gonna explode if I don't play this for you right now.
Wow, what a great feeling when that happens, right?
And he sat down and played it, and Lee listened to it, and when he heard it, he knew right away it was the perfect piece. As a matter of fact, they hadn't even started doodling for the
animation aspect?
But they designed what they doodled around that piece of music.
Wow.
And we're going to play it for you now. And everybody knows it.
That's right.
If you like piano music, you've heard this piece. That's right.
program.
All right.
To our last two pieces.
That's right.
One will play, and then we're going to segue into the other.
That's
I'd
right.
like to talk about these pieces before we begin. The first piece is Carol of the Bells.
That's right. Written by composer Mykola Leontovych.
Yes, I'll let you say it because I didn't want to butcher it.
Yes. It's one of those butcherable names. And he was from the Ukraine.
That's right. And it was originally
a poem.
Okay.
And translated by Mr. Peter J. Wilhowsky.
Okay.
In 1914.
Yes, and they turned it into a beautiful piece that's sung.
Mm-hmm. Yes, as a matter of fact, we're playing instrumental, but I transcribed the vocal version.
Okay, to come up with our arrangement.
Okay. Because
Okay.
it was nothing simple out there
It
as
was
far as
nothing, because
instrumental.
we listen to a lot. There's jazz versions of this piece.
And
and
rock versions.
Rock versions, yeah. I mean, it's all kind of like, how are we going to deal with this?
Yeah.
But the very simple choir arrangements are the most beautiful, and so we could figure some stuff out from there.
So that's what we got coming for them.
Okay.
For y'all.
So our last piece was originally titled Ode to Joy.
That's right. By good old Ludwig von Beethoven.
Yeah, I like to say his name. From his 9th century.
His
ninth symphony.
Symphony.
Okay, you gotta figure out how to take that.
I'll leave it in.
From his 9th symphony, 4th movement.
That's right.
All right. This melody has been reinterpreted so many times, it's outrageous. But I have to tell this story.
Please.
About this piece, Ode to Joy. My father and my mom, they listened to all kinds of music, but they loved classical music. And my father loved all the Beethoven symphonies, but he would listen to the 4th movement in our house over and over again.
Wow.
And sit on the steps and sing the parts in German. And we'd be like, Dad, you're embarrassing us. You know, and our friends was like, ooh, what's up with your dad? You know, so, you know. And I hadn't heard it in a long time. But if you've never heard, you know, if you're a classical music fan or any kind of music fan, I would suggest you look online and find the 4th Symphony of Beethoven, because it's an exceptional work.
Yes.
And it was the first time that symphony and choir came together.
Wow.
You know, and they have these incredible solo voices that happen in and out of the composition itself. It's incredible, the arrangement. It just like, I remember when I heard it for the first time a few weeks ago, and since I was a kid, I was like, I forgot how incredible this was. To the point where it's been arranged a few times. Mr. Henry Van Dyke did the first arrangement called
Joyful, Joyful. That was back in 1907.
Yes, where a lot of people think that the words that he wrote for this piece are the words taken from Beethoven's symphony, but he changed the lyrics up altogether.
Right, came up with a whole new set of lyrics. As a matter of fact, the poem that Beethoven based his Ode to Joy on was actually something written in the late 1700s, about 30, 40 years before he composed this piece. So, yeah, we're going to do ours is really based on the song Joyful, Joyful. And I had done an arrangement for the choir at 4th Presbyterian Church where I play in the Bronx. And it's from Sister Act to Whoopi Goldberg's movie.
Puts a whole different spin on it.
That's right. She breaks it on down.
She breaks it on down.
Yeah.
And so will we. But this is a unique arrangement that Lafayette has come up with some interesting segues and key changes. And
just keep things interesting.
Yes. And it will conclude our program.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, so we'd like to begin these next two pieces with Carol the Bell.